I'm Markia.
Want to hear something scary?
The Vengeful Bride of Tola. Ilaria was a God-fearing young woman from a strict Catholic family. She was to be wed to Salvador Cruz. Salvador had a reckless past with a penchant for tequila and the ladies. But now he went to church and had become the honest and caring man Ilaria had prayed for. But old habits die hard. The night before the wedding, Salvador decided to visit his ex-girlfriend, Juana. While their relationship had been volatile and not good for either of them, the desire had not diminished. Juana plied him with his favorite tequila, and Salvador chose to momentarily forget Ilaria. Salvador, selfish fool that he was, thought of this as closure, and he'd still enjoy his wedding in the morning. The next day, the bells rang out, but as the church doors opened, Ilaria stood at the entrance, her father by her side, but the groom was nowhere to be found. Ilaria looked around frantically, asking for Salvador. Then the whispers started, for everyone else knew exactly where he was. Humiliated, embarrassed for being lied to and cheated on, and for not honoring the sanctity of the church, Ilaria wasn't thinking clearly. She ran up the stairs toward the bell tower as fast as she could. At the highest point of the church, she looked up to the heavens and said, "Forgive me, Father, for what I'm about to do." She closed her eyes and leapt to the ground, her neck snapping instantly. The wedding attendant stared in disbelief. The coroner came to remove the body, and the priest tried to calm the parishioners. 2 hours after the wedding, a taxi sped up to the church. Salvador stumbled out, reeking of booze. He straightened his tie and slicked back his hair, trying to cover his sins. When he saw the coroner loading the body bag into the van, Salvador knew. The crowd turned on him, chasing him out of town, and he wasn't seen again for months. Until one day, Salvador started showing up at church again. Sober and looking to repent, the community forgave him. He even began volunteering at the church, staying to clean up after services. One evening, alone in the church, he saw a woman in white pass by. He turned to ask if she was okay, but she was gone. Just as he was about to lock up, he heard a noise by the stairs. Glancing over, he saw white fabric floating up the stairway. He followed. The white fabric continued up to the roof near the bell, but there was no one there. All he could see was a white wedding veil lying over the edge, about to blow off. He ran up to it, snatching the lacy material. As he turned to head back downstairs, there she stood, the ghost of Ilaria. Her neck snapped to the side, but she had become something else. The betrayal and grief of being left at the altar had created a vengeful spirit, La Novia de Tola. Before he could speak, she flew over, lifting him a foot off the ground. Floating in midair, she whispered, "Forgive me, Father, for what I'm about to do." She threw him over the ledge. His body fell, just as Ilaria's had, except he didn't die instantly. He lay there, face down, writhing in pain, his legs broken, his arms shattered. Screaming in anguish, he felt Ilaria hovering above him. He begged for her forgiveness. Ilaria stomped on him, shattering the bones from his legs to his ribs to his pelvis. She rolled him over, looking him in the eye as he groaned. And with one final stomp, his face collapsed. The final breath left his body. By the time the townspeople found him, they mourned that Salvador's grief and regret had led him to commit suicide in the very place Ilaria had. Because what should they believe otherwise? La Novia's legend led to statues And the Nicaraguan saying, left waiting like the bride from Tola. Hell hath no fury like a ghost scorned.